Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championship.
Welcome back to Online Darts, everyone. We are here at the Palace, and Mr. Citera, we finally got you.
It's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Yeah,
good to see you.
We'll let a little secret out of the bag. The last one we did here got canned because there was some stuff in there that you weren't allowed to say at the time.
Correct.
Thought you could.
Correct.
But we canned it, but we finally got you back. Look, let's try and sum up the year from a CDC point of view. How would you assess it from this time last year to where we are now?
You know, I mentioned to you yesterday that we keep moving the ball forward, we keep growing. We had some big accomplishments this year. We ended up paying over $236,000. That's the highest we've ever paid. The progress is still being made. It's incremental. And it's tough, I think, that when you're a mature business, because at this point we're mature, right? We're entering our 12th year, that it feels with the pace that we were at, it almost feels like things are slowing down, even though they aren't, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you.
So it's been a really great year. Really looking forward to the future.
Yeah, look, we've seen the American boys. The numbers are going up all the time. The coverage the CDC gets now is getting more and more from what I call the darting world. That must please you that all eyes are on the product now.
No doubt about it. And you know, to be honest, it's proof positive that it works. We've talked over the years a number of times that we were really deliberate when we started this, right? We knew we were at darts in North America when we started was really at its nadir. It really was the low point it probably has been in decades. And so we had to get the darts right first. And we had a 5-year plan. We were going to get the darts right, and then we were going to, go to the moon from there. And now we're 12 years into that 5-year plan. But at the end of the day, the product itself has evolved to the point where now we are streaming 5 boards, right? All the PDC TV, we're streaming 5 boards to our YouTube channel. We've got media attention. It really has evolved in a way that I could not be happier with.
Yeah, and the backing you get from the PDC must be brilliant. Again, that deal's been extended once more, so they must be happy with the progress that's being made in North America.
No doubt about it. We actually just inked another 3-year extension that's going to come with some really exciting news, more opportunities for our top players. Our next challenge, of course, is that we need to find the next generation, right? And that's something that I'm working hard to solve. Yeah, look,
I get everyone needs a Luke Littler, I get, but the fact that the PDC see North America as a huge growth point, we know there's going to be an office in New York now as well, so the fact that you've got a base for them in North America now to work closely with as well shows their intent for the continent as well.
There's no doubt. I mean, let's face it, it's an untapped market in terms of high-level professional darts. And I'd like to think that we had we played a big role in it getting to the point where people are looking at it going, wow, where could this go? And just kind of examining the landscape, I think really the sky is the limit. We need to train fans how to do what they do here, but I think that'll come, right? Look at New York.
Incredible.
It was amazing, right? I don't think there's a better crowd at a PDC event than there was in New York.
Well, you brought New York up, and it has been, the last 4 years have been incredible. Is there an internal worry, and have you had discussions that, is the World Cup going to maybe put that back, like 3 steps forward, 2 back this year for a year? Will the World Cup have an effect, do you think?
To be candid, I'm a little worried about the effect of it. I had a long conversation yesterday with Matt Porter. He will talk to you about his perspective. From my perspective, I can see it going a couple of different ways. I think that actually from a fan perspective, it might be advantageous in the fact that we will likely make up for the North Americans that don't go because of whatever cost with Europeans, right? You've got England, you've got Germany. Yeah. Darts is part of the culture in both of those countries. Yeah. So I think it really dovetails well. If I'm going over for the football, why would I not then go to the darts? So I think that from that perspective, I think it's going to be just as good. But from a North American perspective, I think it's a little bit of a disappointing that we're up against the World Cup, because I think it will have an effect on the North Americans that'll travel.
And up against England, more specific as well. That I remember we were chatting on Messenger during the draw was done. I was like, please, other coast. Ah, shit.
And it's not just you could not have had a worse draw at a worse time. It's not just that it's England. It's England at 5 p.m.
At MetLife.
So you can't do an afternoon session and you can't do an evening session at the darts, right? I mean, you can, but we'll see what impact that has, because it's smack dab in the middle of that, right?
Is there been a little bit of green-eyed envy from down under? Because the Australian Premier League, we loved it. It looked great. Do you want a piece of that pie? Would you love a North American Premier League like they did in Australia?
I mean, look, I'd be a fool to say no. I think it's something that we can work towards. It's not something that is going to be a 2026 thing. Yeah. I think absolutely you might see something in the future, but there's an evolution that has to happen there. There's conversations that have to happen, venues that have to be found. This is not something that we're going to just jump in with both feet, right? So we'll have more conversations with Matt and figure out kind of what that looks like. And sure, is it a possibility? Sure.
Is it something that could work, though, in North America, like it has down under?
I believe absolutely it could. The key is finding the right cities and finding the right size venues, right? The last thing you want to do is put 2,000 people in a 10,000 person venue, right? Because that's going to, even though it would be commercially successful from our point of view, it's not going to look it from the TV point
Correct,
of view.
Yeah, I get that.
I would much rather find a smaller, more intimate venue, sell them out, whatever they are, and then grow from there if it does happen.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. Now, this one you can confirm or deny, but my rumour mill birdies tell me that the cross-border challenge is leaving the US of A in 2027 or 2026 and going north into Canada. Would you like to confirm or deny this?
I can indeed confirm that for the first time here on Online Darts, that we will actually be going north of the border. We will hold it in Deer Lake, Newfoundland. I am more excited than I can speak to be able to be there. I think it's going to be fantastic. Darts, if there's a place in North America where darts really is part of the culture, it is Newfoundland. It is going to be raucous. They are going to be, they're going to be packing the rafters, and I know that the support will be amazing. It's going to be interesting for the American players too, because they've kind of had it easy for the first few years, right? The fans have been on the American side. It's not going to be the case.
As I say, how exciting is this? Because I know that's been one of the criticisms, that there's been too much US based and maybe not enough in Canada. Now you're servicing that. Is this a great and exciting time?
It is. To be fair, I have acknowledged publicly that we need to service Canada, but again, the commercial aspect needs to be satisfied, right? Just because it sounds like we should be there doesn't mean that it's the right business decision to be there.
Yeah.
You have to go when the timing is right. And I think we found the right venue. I think we found the right people to assist, and I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, look, it's an exciting time, and I'm pleased with this because I love your majors, and as we call them, do you call them majors?
Yes.
Or they're not premium televised? Sorry, Matt. No, look, we love what the players are producing, and the Continental Cup this year showcased that. It was drama right until the very end, and you must be delighted with the way things like that are progressing.
Look, one of the things that I'm most happy about with the Continental Cup was the storylines, right? You had the story all the way up till the end with Alex Spellman. He's likely he's in or he's not, right? The question is he going to be in? Is he going to get the Grand Slam spot or not? Right? That was the whole point of it. Once he got past the first round, it was wonderful to kind of see those stories build. The Spellman Cameron match is one for the ages. I mean, I know Dave would probably dispute that, but from our perspective, from the numbers that we were seeing, watching online, I couldn't be happier with the way that turned out.
No, Dave won't like it, but again, from a journalistic point of view and a fan point of view, when a player loses their head, and let's have it right, David Cameron lost his head in that game. That's what we want. That's what creates drama. We've seen it here at Alexandra Palace. When players lose their heads, people talk about darts.
There's a saying that all publicity is good publicity. I'm not saying I buy into that 100%. I'm speaking to you as a media person, so clearly you are looking at things differently than I as an organizer. I think there's an element of truth in what you say, but at the end of the day, obviously, the goal is to move the sport into the public consciousness. Whatever the storylines are that land it there, obviously we prefer it being the best light possible, but whatever the storylines are that land it there is good for the game. Yeah, look, and I just want to get the landscape of darts in North America, because I've been critical of darts in Australia for this reason. Everyone is well known that it's been very fragmented. I'm not saying it's fragmented in the US, but there seems to be lots of bodies and organisations doing their own thing. Are we on a landscape where you can all work together for the good of North America? Look, I've said since we started this that we are interested in having a good relationship with any organization that wants to have a good relationship with us. We are all trying to advance the game of darts. That being said, clearly we're a commercial organization.
Correct.
And we need to do what's best for CDC.
Yeah.
I think that there are a lot of opportunities for other organizations and us to work together in lockstep, and I think that a rising tide can lift all boats. But again, there's going to be times where we're going to be working this towards the same goal. There are going to be times where our paths diverge a little bit.
I get that.
The key is that to have the communication, the good relationship, and just kind of identify where the opportunities lie to work together.
No, I get that, and that's good that we are going to potentially see those, which is great because, look, from a sports point of view, North America is huge, and the bigger darts is in North America, the better it is for the sport.
No doubt. And, we face challenges in North America that you don't face necessarily here in the UK or broadly in Europe, right? Our sporting landscape is much more crowded than yours. If you look at the news cycle in terms of sport, it's over in nanoseconds.
Yeah.
So even when darts surfaces, like Luke Littler, right? Luke Littler was the talk of the United States for 3 days. And then he's forgotten because the next big thing happens, right? And so to the extent that we can continue to surface those stories, we'll be in a much better place. So again, working with other organizations to get in the forefront, to get into the general consciousness is something I think everybody would benefit from.
Looking forward into 2026, what can we expect from the CDC?
So some really cool things. We're going to raise payouts again. So we'll make announcements on that. You've heard me say, I've said it to you, I've planted the flag. My goal is to get to $1 million in payouts. It's not going to happen this year. It's going to be a gradual thing. But if we can keep moving the ball forward and keep moving the compass north, then we're in a good spot, right? We're going to expand the Continental Cup field. So we'll be able to offer more opportunities to more people. I think that's absolutely critical. Our top 8, our top 16 guys, they're amazing, right? But we also have another 85 people that come out and play regularly that you also have to give opportunities to excel. So I think that expanding the Continental Cup field will give them something to work towards, and that's only going to make their darts better as well, right? So it's important that we continue to evolve the top end, but also grow the bench, and that's kind of what we're looking to do here.
No, I get that, and that's great news in terms of opportunities and things like that. I know that you're working on this, bringing through these young Americans. What's the blueprint? Is it working with the JDC? Is it working on other stuff? How do we get a young Luke Littler from Nashville, from Vegas, from New York?
I mean, look, everybody wants their own Luke Littler, right? Everybody, if they were dropping off of trees, we'd all have them. Again, we face challenges that don't exist here. Number one being the fact that the continent is so vast, right? So it's really tough to get people together to beat each other up over and over and over again. Our relationship with the JDC is paramount. I think that we don't succeed without the JDC, but it's going to involve working together with them to figure out a model that might be slightly different than what they're used to over here. And having had conversations with both Darren Barston and Steve Brown, including a couple last week, I know that they're open-minded and we're open-minded. And there's enough darts knowledge between the two teams that we're going to solve the problem. We have to solve the problem, right? Because if you look at the class and the talent that you're developing in your academy systems over here, if we don't figure this out in the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to be another 10 to 15 years behind. And we just spent the last 12 years catching up. So nobody wants to be in that position. I think it's all eyes forward and just finding out what works. And there's going to be a lot of, I think, trial and error and learning.
Sounds like it's been a productive 2 weeks in London for you, plenty of meetings and plenty of productive chats.
That's the reason I come over. I mean, as much as it's nice to watch matches and sit in the legendary arena
chips,
here,
obviously, as well.
Exactly. But really, it's a business trip, and we've had some really wonderful meetings. A lot of exciting things on the horizon. Can't talk about all of them now, but look for further news.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Jermaine.
Hey, Jermaine. How are you? Merry Christmas to you.
Have a good Christmas, my friend.
Congratulations.
I love it when a player gate crashes our interviews because we can put them in the thumbnail.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, look, so before we let you go, this 5-year plan that's obviously been ripped up, what's the mini goals? What's the next big thing that Peter Citera wants to tick off? So
the next big thing is going to hit 300,000 in payouts. That's very achievable, whether it be this year or next year, very achievable. Beyond that, there's metrics I can't really divulge in terms of viewership. We have metrics internally that we want to achieve. Commercializing the product in terms of the entertainment, not just butts in seats at events, but also bringing entertainment to the fans that are watching on our YouTube channel, on PDC TV. There's a lot of things we want to do there that you'll see us attempt in the next year. But certainly, I think the one I can put a pin in is let's get the payouts to $300,000 and see where things go.
Peter, it's a pleasure catching up with you, and it's been an unbelievable 2 weeks. Wish you the best Christmas and New Year, my friend, and we will see
Cheers,
you
Phil.
in 2026.
I'll see you in Milton Keynes.
Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championship.